What if the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the echo of your own self-doubt? In a world that relentlessly demands more from us, the struggle to validate our existence can feel suffocating, as if we're endlessly chasing shadows. Each day might feel like a battle against an unseen enemy, a voice whispering insecurities that inhibit our potential and dull our aspirations. But what if you could shatter that illusion and reclaim your narrative? In this transformative journey, we will explore deep-seated fears and unearth the strength hidden within. It's time to confront the darkness and illuminate the path to self-empowerment. Bold Moves, Defeat Self-Doubt, and Take Control, written and published by Silent Validity. Lesson 1. Silence the inner critic. We often hear the phrase, "You are your own worst enemy," but few truly grasp its weight until they confront the cruel voice inside their heads. This inner critic, that incessant nagging echo, thrives on self-doubt and fear, doing everything in its power to stifle our potential. The psychological basis for seeking validation stems from deep-rooted insecurities and a compelling desire for acceptance. It often originates in our formative years when we internalize the expectations of parents, peers, and society. This need for affirmation can morph into a crippling dependency, leading us to measure our self-worth through external approval rather than our inner convictions. Imagine a talented artist who produces breathtaking works, yet cannot bring themselves to share their creations with the world. They invest countless hours in perfecting each stroke, but the moment of unveiling fills them with dread. What if others don't appreciate their vision? The internal dialogue is harsh and unforgiving. Who do you think you are? You're just a fraud. This haunting self-assessment prevents them from tapping into the joy of creation, ultimately snuffing out the light of their artistic potential. Common scenarios manifest when the fear of judgment influences our choices. Consider a professional who holds back ideas in meetings, convinced that they lack originality or value. With each hesitation, their inner critic swells, distorting their sense of capability and silencing innovative thoughts. They might walk away feeling defeated, not realizing that their silence contributes to a cycle of self-doubt that stifles both personal growth and team collaboration. The reality is that many people find themselves in similar situations, endlessly seeking confirmation of their worth from others, which only perpetuates the very anxiety they wish to escape. The emotional implications of allowing the inner critic to dictate our thoughts are profound. Research shows that individuals who struggle with self-criticism often experience increased anxiety and depression. This constant barrage of negative self-talk blocks them from forming genuine relationships and pursuing opportunities that could enrich their lives. They often feel isolated, believing they are the only ones grappling with these relentless thoughts. In truth, this battle is more common than many dare to acknowledge. Confronting this inner adversary requires self-awareness and a willingness to engage in deep reflection. It begins with recognizing the triggers of your self-doubt, understanding the narratives you've constructed around your worth, and reframing them. What if we started viewing our perceived flaws as unique traits that contribute to our identity, rather than limitations? Consider this: the very qualities we often critique can be the attributes that make us truly human and relatable. Imagine how liberating it would be to silence that critical voice and instead embrace self-compassion, allowing room for growth and authentic expression. In this lesson, we embark on a journey to dismantle that inner critic, transforming the way we view ourselves and our capabilities. By actively challenging negative thoughts and replacing them with a nurturing inner dialogue, we can reclaim our power and redefine what it means to validate ourselves. This journey is crucial as it sets the foundation for all the bold moves we will undertake in our quest to build a fulfilled and empowered life. The truth is, by learning to silence the inner critic, we open the door to authentic confidence and immeasurable self-worth. To effectively recognize and halt the detrimental behavior of succumbing to your inner critic, one must first cultivate a robust self-awareness. Begin by monitoring your thoughts throughout the day. When you catch yourself engaging in negative self-talk, pause and take a moment to reflect. What triggered this dialogue? This practice can reveal patterns in your thought processes and allow you to identify specific situations that provoke self-doubt. Keeping a journal can bolster this awareness, as writing down your feelings can help you clarify your thoughts and track the frequency of these negative narratives. Once you've recognized these patterns, the next step is to actively challenge them. This requires a mindset shift. Transform your self-criticism into constructive self-reflection. For instance, if your inner critic chastises you for making a mistake, counter that thought with a redirection. Mistakes are opportunities for growth, not evidence of my inadequacy. This reframing not only diminishes the power of your inner critic but also instills a sense of resilience and courage. Psychological studies have shown that individuals who practice self-compassion experience lower levels of anxiety and depression, reinforcing the effectiveness of this shift in perspective. In practical terms, set aside intentional time each week to engage with yourself positively. Identify 3 traits or accomplishments that you value about yourself and write them down. Allow yourself to bask in these affirmations. Visualize their significance in your life. This exercise fosters a sense of agency and ownership over your worth, counteracting the damage inflicted by negative self-talk. It will also encourage you to become your own greatest advocate rather than your harshest judge. To further solidify this transformation, embark on a real-world challenge that pushes you slightly out of your comfort zone. For example, if networking fills you with anxiety due to fears of judgment, commit to attending a local event where you can interact with others. Approach conversations with a supportive mindset, focusing on listening and sharing, rather than fixating on how others perceive you. These experiences widen your understanding of your capabilities and help diminish the grip of your inner critic. Real-life success stories highlight this growth beautifully. Consider an individual who feared public speaking but chose to face that fear by joining a local Toastmasters club. Through practice and supportive feedback, they transformed their anxiety into confidence, showcasing how tangible steps can liberate us from inner turmoil. As you progress, remind yourself that the inner critic is often a distorted reflection of external voices rather than an accurate portrayal of your identity. This insight creates an empowering space for genuine self-expression. Remember that every time you challenge the voice of self-doubt, you reinforce your path toward authentic self-acceptance, allowing for bolder self-advocacy and personal growth. As we conclude this lesson, prepare yourself for the next chapter in our journey, reclaiming your power from fear. The battle against self-doubt is relentless, but the fortitude to confront fear can become your most formidable ally. Engage with this material, embrace the exercises, and share your insights. Your journey is unique, and your growth deserves recognition. Remember to reflect on how far you've come and acknowledge the progress ahead. For more transformative experiences, subscribe to the channel, give this content a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters and will empower not just you but others navigating similar challenges. Lesson 2. Reclaim your power from fear. Fear is a potent force, often more paralyzing than any external obstacle we might face. It creeps into our lives, whispering trepidation that breeds hesitation and sows seeds of doubt, eroding our sense of agency. This intricate web of fear can manifest itself as a desperate need for validation, compelling us to seek approval from others rather than trusting ourselves. The psychological underpinning of this behavior often traces back to early experiences where validation was contingent on meeting expectations, leading to a mindset that equates self-worth with external affirmation. The emotional toll of this reliance is profound, deterring us from pursuing opportunities that could foster growth or ignite passion. Consider the individual who feels trapped in their job, yearning to pursue a dream career. Their heart races at the thought of making the leap, but fear looms large. What if they fail? What if they disappoint those who've always seen them in a particular light? This fear transforms into a suffocating cycle of seeking reassurance from friends and family, grasping for their approval to validate their desire for change. Each affirmation, though comforting in the moment, ultimately reinforces the belief that their choices lack legitimacy unless sanctioned by others. This scenario exemplifies the all-too-common predicament of allowing fear to dictate our paths, rather than embracing the inherent strength within us. A relatable scenario emerges many times in social settings where individuals contend with the fear of judgment. Picture a person at a gathering, significantly anxious about how they are perceived. Instead of engaging authentically with others, they become preoccupied with monitoring reactions to their words and behavior. They meticulously craft their dialogue to align with what they presume will garner approval. This performance often results in a disconnection from their true selves and unfulfilled interactions. Over time, this incessant need for validation from social circles can erode their confidence, leading to feelings of inadequacy when they fail to meet imagined expectations. The emotional ramifications of yielding to fear extend beyond fleeting discomfort. Research illustrates that chronic fear can lead to heightened anxiety, depression, and a diminished ability to engage fully with life. Those trapped in this cycle find themselves perpetually postponing their dreams, convinced that once they attain the approval of others, they will finally feel justified in their pursuits. However, this carrot-on-a-stick approach seldom leads to true fulfillment, as the checklist of others' expectations is never complete. There will always be another opinion or standard to meet, leaving you perpetually striving for validation instead of embracing your identity. As we grapple with the truth that fear and validation are intricately intertwined, we must confront the hidden reality that their power can be dismantled. Recognizing the sources of fear and the irrational beliefs we've attached to the need for validation is the first step in reclaiming our power. By understanding that our worth is inherent and distinct from external judgments, we can begin the journey of embracing courage and authenticity. Shifting our mindset from seeking affirmation to owning our decisions will allow us to confront fear with confidence, liberating us from the shackles of perceived inadequacy. In the upcoming sections, we will explore practical strategies to tackle fear head-on, allowing us to rediscover our agency. The quest for approval can be replaced with a stronger relationship with oneself, paving the way for personal growth and unapologetic self-expression. As we embark on this journey together, remember that confronting fear is a bold move toward reclaiming your power and rewriting your story. To effectively reclaim your power from fear, the first step is recognizing how fear manifests in your life and influences your decision-making. Start by maintaining a daily journal dedicated to tracking moments of fear-driven behavior. Write down scenarios where you hesitated to speak up, took a step back when you wanted to advance, or deferred your aspirations in favor of others' expectations. This practice not only heightens awareness, but also allows you to identify recurring patterns that showcase how fear dictates your actions. The insights gleaned from this self-reflection serve as a critical foundation for overcoming these ingrained habits. Next, shift your mindset from one of limitation to one of potential. This involves confronting the beliefs that fuel your fear of judgment. For instance, if you find yourself thinking, "What will they think if I fail?" Reframing this thought to, "What can I learn from this experience, regardless of the outcome?" fosters resilience and cultivates a growth-oriented perspective. A study published in the journal Psychological Science highlights how a growth mindset not only reduces fear but enhances performance under pressure, demonstrating that our perceptions can shape our reality in profound ways. To immerse yourself in this mindset shift, consider taking on a new challenge that frightens you. If public speaking terrifies you, seek opportunities, such as community meetings or local discussion groups, where you can practice speaking while gradually expanding your comfort zone. The goal is not perfection, but progress, affirming that every step taken is a form of self-advocacy. Alongside this challenge, seek feedback from trusted friends or colleagues who can provide constructive criticism. Their input will reinforce the notion that external opinions do not define your value. Instead, they can inform your growth. One compelling case study involves a young woman named Emily who harbored aspirations of becoming a singer, but was paralyzed by fear of judgment. After years of avoiding auditions, Emily began participating in weekly open mic nights. Each performance, however imperfect, illuminated the reality that her fear was not as paralyzing as anticipated. The supportive laughter and applause from the audience gradually shifted her perception of failure and success, enabling her to reclaim her passion and pursue opportunities that once felt unattainable. As you engage with these strategies, remember that fear is a natural response. It signifies that you are on the cusp of growth. Use this insight to contextualize your experiences, reframing fear from a disabling force to an indication of the authenticity of your desires. As you confront fear head-on, take note of the liberating feeling that arises when you act in alignment with your aspirations, regardless of others' perceptions. This liberation becomes a catalyst for self-discovery, invigorating your journey toward authenticity. As this lesson draws to a close, prepare to move deeper into your transformative journey by learning to stop overthinking and start doing. This next chapter will empower you to navigate the habitual cycle of hesitation, equipping you with tools to embrace action rather than retreating into thought. Engage with the exercises, share your experiences, and connect with your fellow readers. Your journey toward self-empowerment is crucial. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and leave your thoughts below. Your insights can help others who are on similar paths, fostering a community of support and shared growth. Lesson 3. Stop overthinking, start doing. Overthinking is a silent thief of potential, stealthily persuading us to remain in the shadows while our dreams flicker just out of reach. In a culture that prizes perfection and certainty, it's all too easy to become ensnared in a web of analysis and self-doubt. The psychological reasons behind this behavior often stem from our deep-seated fear of failure and the relentless pursuit of validation. Each time we hesitate and ruminate on the what-ifs, we relinquish our power, allowing our minds to spiral into a cycle where inaction becomes the default response. This pattern can feel overwhelmingly comfortable, yet it disguises an insidious truth. While we think we are planning, we are, in fact, paralyzing our progress. Imagine a talented writer who harbors a manuscript overflowing with creativity, yet is immobilized by the fear that it will not meet others' expectations. Each time they sit down with the intention of revising their work, the inner critic takes hold, leading them to question every sentence and every idea. They pore over articles and self-help books on writing, aiming for a level of perfection that lies just outside their reach. Even when they muster the courage to share a portion of their work, they eagerly await validation from peers and mentors, anxious for reassurance that they are on the right track. In this cycle, the writer finds that instead of diving into their craft, they remain stuck in an endless loop of thought, diminishing their hope of ever presenting their voice to the world. Common scenarios showcasing the paralysis of overthinking are prevalent across various aspects of life. Consider a professional who has an innovative idea to pitch at work, yet spends weeks rehearsing the presentation in their mind, strategizing every potential response, and fearing that their concept won't resonate with colleagues. In this state of overthinking, they procrastinate until the moment passes, allowing fear and doubt to extinguish their creative spark. The emotional toll of constantly second-guessing oneself breeds frustration and reduces confidence, creating a vicious cycle where individuals submit to their own limitations rather than empowering their aspirations. Research indicates that overthinking is often driven by perfectionism and a desire for external approval, with studies linking it to increased stress and anxiety. This not only diminishes our effectiveness, but also corrupts our ability to experience joy in the pursuits that matter most. We often begin to measure our self-worth through the lens of others' opinions rather than embracing our inherent value. The insidious aspect of overthinking is the insistence that every action must yield the perfect outcome. Otherwise, we feel inadequate. The truth is, the act of starting, not the end result, is where transformation begins. It is essential to recognize that every expert was once a beginner, and every great creation emerged from a willingness to act amidst uncertainty. Grasping this concept is crucial to breaking free from the paralysis of overthinking. The path to moving forward lies in shifting the narrative from one of fear and perfection to one of exploration and courage. As we delve deeper into this lesson, we will uncover practical strategies and actionable insights that facilitate movement, even when fear looms large. By embracing the essence of taking imperfect action, we can combat overthinking, empowering ourselves to pursue our goals with renewed determination. Prepare to engage in this transformative journey where stopping the cycle of overthinking will pave the way for self-actualization and a more fulfilling life. To effectively stop the cycle of overthinking, the first step is recognizing when this pattern emerges. Start by implementing a simple yet powerful practice: mindfulness. This involves being present and observing your thoughts without judgment. As you go about your day, pay close attention to moments when your mind begins to spiral into excessive contemplation. Note how these thoughts affect your emotions and your ability to act. Keeping a mindfulness journal can enhance this practice. Record instances of overthinking as they arise, along with the feelings attached to them. This act of observation transforms your relationship with your thoughts, gradually allowing you to identify triggers and patterns. With recognition comes the opportunity for transformative mindset shifts. Embrace the notion that action, however imperfect, is preferable to stagnation. In this light, reframe the concept of failure, not as a definitive end, but as a stepping stone toward growth and mastery. Consider the findings from psychological research indicating that individuals who approach tasks with a learning mindset, as opposed to a performance mindset, tend to perform better in the long run. By adopting a perspective that values exploration over perfection, you foster resilience and open yourself to the unexpected opportunities that arise from taking action. One actionable exercise to combat overthinking involves setting a timer for just 5 minutes to consciously brainstorm ideas or solutions related to a significant decision or project. During this time, write without any filtering or judgment. Allow your thoughts to flow freely, capturing everything that comes to mind. After the time is up, read through your notes and identify actionable steps you can take immediately, no matter how small. This simple technique breaks the cycle of overanalysis and helps move you into a space of doing, allowing you to reclaim your power from the clutches of inaction. Real-life case studies further illustrate the power of breaking free from overthinking through action. Take the story of David, an aspiring entrepreneur who spent years meticulously crafting a business plan. It was only when a friend encouraged him to take the first step, launching a minimal viable product without perfecting every detail, that he found success. The act of putting himself out there invigorated him and provided invaluable feedback that refined his model in ways he had never anticipated. David's experience exemplifies the profound truth that action, not overthinking, leads to clarity and growth. As you implement these strategies, remember that overthinking often thrives in environments of uncertainty. By taking small, decisive actions, you begin to cultivate a sense of control and agency that can disperse feelings of doubt and hopelessness. Each action becomes a declaration of your commitment to moving forward, reinforcing your ability to adapt and grow in any circumstance. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to delve into the next critical aspect of self-empowerment: building unshakable self-trust. This is where you will learn to cultivate confidence that is resilient against doubt and fear. Engage wholeheartedly with the exercises presented in this lesson, and reflect on how each small victory toward taking action strengthens your journey. Your experiences are valuable, and sharing them can create a supportive community. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and comment with your thoughts or suggestions. Your insights can inspire others to break free from overthinking and embrace action in their lives. Lesson 4. Build unshakable self-trust. In a world rife with uncertainties and external expectations, the quest for self-trust often feels like a fragmenting dream. Many feel as though they are caught in a relentless chase for validation, where external approval dictates their sense of worth. This reliance on outside judgment erodes inner confidence, creating a cycle of doubt and fear that holds individuals hostage to opinion and circumstance. The psychological roots of this behavior usually stem from early life experiences, where constant comparison or the imposition of unrealistic standards led to an ingrained belief: I must seek approval to be worthy. Emotionally, this search can lead to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and a pervasive sense of disconnection from one's true self. Consider the case of Anna, a young professional who had always been praised for her meticulousness at work. However, beneath the surface, she lived in constant fear of making a mistake, believing that any misstep would lead to catastrophic judgment from her colleagues. Despite her considerable achievements, Anna felt an overwhelming emptiness when she received compliments. The validation from others served only as a fleeting remedy for her deeper insecurity. Each time she faced a new challenge, her first instinct was to consult her peers, doubting her capabilities even in areas where she had demonstrated expertise. This reliance on validation ultimately stifled her growth and creativity, landing her in a cycle of hesitance that sapped her enthusiasm for her work. This scenario illustrates a common truth. In seeking approval, we often neglect to cultivate our self-trust. The emotional cost can be steep, leading to paralyzed decision-making, anxiety about performance, and an overarching fear of disappointing others. For many, this manifests in all aspects of life, from career choices to personal relationships. A friend may shy away from pursuing a romantic interest, fearing the repercussions of rejection or critique from their social circle. Each instance where they allow these fears to dictate their choices reinforces a damaging pattern, subtly whispering that their desires must come secondary to the approval of others. Research in psychology underscores the importance of self-trust as a cornerstone of mental well-being. Studies indicate that individuals who trust themselves are more likely to exhibit resilience in the face of adversity and demonstrate higher levels of emotional intelligence. When we allow the opinions of others to dictate our self-worth, we inhibit our capacity to navigate challenges on our terms. The apparent safety of conformity masks the empowering potential of self-trust, a phenomenon that few recognize until they begin to untangle the bias of external validation from their self-perception. The truth that lies beneath this often ignored reality is that self-trust is an essential component of authentic living. To fortify this trust within ourselves, we must first confront the underlying beliefs that equate self-worth with external affirmation. Shifting our focus from how we are perceived to how we feel about our own actions is a pivotal step in this journey. The act of trusting oneself involves embracing one's unique path, accepting imperfections, and welcoming the lessons that arise from both successes and failures. As we delve further into this lesson, it is crucial to recognize that building unshakable self-trust is an ongoing process requiring patience and vulnerability. The journey ahead will empower you to disengage from the clutches of validation and anchor your sense of worth firmly within yourself. As we move forward, prepare to unlock the potential that comes with unwavering self-trust, allowing you to navigate the complexities of life with confidence and authenticity. To build unshakable self-trust, the first step is recognizing when you are seeking validation from others instead of relying on your own judgment. Develop the habit of self-reflection to identify moments when external opinions heavily influence your decisions or feelings of self-worth. A straightforward strategy involves keeping a reflective journal dedicated to these instances. Document situations where you felt compelled to seek approval or doubted your decisions based on others' reactions. Over time, this documentation will unveil patterns in your behavior and thoughts, allowing you to recognize triggers that lead to dependence on validation. Next, it's essential to shift your mindset away from external validation. Cultivate a deeper understanding that self-approval is far more critical than the fleeting satisfaction of others' praise. Embrace the notion that perfection is an illusion. Everyone makes mistakes and experiences setbacks. Research has shown that people with a high level of self-trust exhibit greater emotional resilience and can navigate life's complexities with a steadier approach. By acknowledging that it's acceptable to fall short sometimes, you create room for growth and self-compassion, allowing your self-trust to flourish. To reinforce this shift, engage in actionable exercises that promote self-reliance. One effective technique is to set aside a specific time each week to evaluate your decisions. Dedicate 30 minutes to reflect on recent choices. Consider where you felt uncertain and what prompted you to seek others' opinions. Challenge yourself to assess these decisions based on your values and experiences, rather than external feedback. This exercise enhances awareness and compels you to validate your judgments, fostering a stronger bond with your inner self. To illustrate the power of self-trust, consider the case of Mark, a marketing specialist who constantly second-guessed his ideas due to the opinions of higher-ups. Initially, he found himself deferring to colleagues' suggestions, fearing his own insights might be rejected. However, after implementing a self-reflection practice, Mark realized how often this behavior stifled creativity and innovation. By committing to weekly evaluations, he began to voice his ideas confidently in meetings. Over time, this not only strengthened his self-trust, but also positioned him as an emerging leader in his department. Another practical exercise involves setting personal challenges that align with your interests, goals, or values. For instance, if you have an interest in painting, dedicate the next month to create one piece of art each week without seeking feedback from others. This guided exploration reinforces the valuable lesson that you can derive satisfaction from your creativity rather than allowing potential critiques to overshadow your joy. Finally, embrace the psychological principle of self-affirmation, which involves recognizing your positive qualities and achievements. Research indicates that affirming your strengths enhances self-trust and reduces reliance on external validation. Regularly take time to identify what you've accomplished, no matter how small, and acknowledge your efforts. This practice steadies your self-worth's foundations, empowering you to face challenges with assurance. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to journey deeper into the development of authentic self-expression. The next chapter will equip you with valuable tools to speak up with confidence and share your voice unapologetically. Engage wholeheartedly with the exercises, and remember, your stories and experiences are powerful. Before proceeding, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your thoughts. Your insights not only enrich your journey, but also inspire others striving for self-empowerment. Lesson 5. Step out of your comfort zone. The comfort zone is a seductive prison. It promises safety and familiarity, but it simultaneously stunts growth and curtails potential. Many individuals find solace within its confines, lulled into a false sense of security while suppressing their aspirations. The psychological reason behind this aversion to stepping outside one's comfort zone often stems from an intrinsic fear of the unknown and the emotions tied to failure. When faced with the prospect of change, many recoil, fearing that their identity will be threatened, or that they may be exposed to ridicule or judgment. This leads to a cycle of seeking validation from others, as we desperately cling to the approval that reinforces our sense of belonging. Take the example of Laura, a promising software developer who has always been praised for her technical skills. Despite her aptitude, she avoids presenting her ideas in meetings, convinced that her contributions won't be well received. By remaining silent, she finds comfort in the immediate safety of not standing out. However, this comfort comes at a price, as each missed opportunity reinforces her belief that she isn't worthy of a platform to express her thoughts. Laura's situation exemplifies how the fear of judgment can prevent individuals from embracing new experiences, ultimately leading to a stagnation of personal and professional development. Common scenarios abound where individuals choose the comfort of the familiar over the potential for growth. Consider a teacher who has innovative ideas for engaging students, but fears that their methods will not resonate with parents or colleagues. Rather than risk taking these ideas into the classroom, they consistently rely on traditional methods that lack inspiration, ultimately stifling their creativity and passion for teaching. In these cases, the need for validation replaces the courage required to explore uncharted territory, leading to a profound disconnect from one's true self. The emotional consequences of this avoidance are profound. When individuals shy away from challenges, they often experience increased anxiety and feelings of inadequacy. Research indicates that the chronic avoidance of risks can lead to a condition known as learned helplessness, where individuals become resigned to their circumstances. They start to believe they lack control over their lives, which further perpetuates their reluctance to step outside their comfort zone. Every time you shy away from discomfort, you rob yourself of the chance to grow and evolve. To combat this pattern, the first step is to cultivate awareness of the areas in your life where you feel hesitant to take risks. Start by making a list of activities or opportunities that excite you, yet evoke fear or discomfort. Reflect on what is holding you back from embracing these experiences. Acknowledging these fears is the first step toward dismantling their power over you. Furthermore, embracing the unknown requires a mindset shift. Reframe discomfort as a catalyst for growth rather than a threat. Recognize that every time you face a new challenge, you contribute to your personal development and broaden your horizons. The most successful individuals often attribute their achievements to the risks they took. They understand that success lies beyond the boundaries of what feels safe. As we navigate this lesson together, prepare to explore practical strategies that will empower you to step confidently into the unknown. In doing so, you will unlock the doors to new experiences that foster growth, resilience, and a renewed sense of self. To effectively step out of your comfort zone, the first strategy is to recognize the specific triggers that lead you to retreat into familiar patterns. Begin by engaging in self-reflection. Spend a few moments each day considering instances where you hesitated to take risks. What were the circumstances? What emotions arose in those moments? Keep a journal to document these insights, noting the context, thoughts, and feelings associated with your reluctance to embrace new experiences. This practice will enhance your self-awareness, illuminating the areas in your life where fear persists and revealing the patterns that hinder your growth. Next, shift your mindset regarding discomfort. Understand that feeling uncomfortable is a natural part of personal growth, rather than an indicator of impending failure. This perspective is essential to breaking the cycle of avoidance. Research indicates that embracing discomfort can lead to greater resilience and adaptability. Consider reframing your view of discomfort as a signpost pointing toward growth opportunities. Acknowledge that every successful individual has faced moments of uncertainty and fear. The key difference is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. An actionable exercise to overcome your fear of stepping outside the comfort zone is the 30-day challenge. Identify one small risk or uncomfortable activity you can commit to doing each day for the next month. This could range from initiating a conversation with a stranger, trying a new hobby, or speaking up in a meeting. Each small risk you take cultivates courage and progressively expands your comfort zone. The idea is to create a cumulative effect. As you complete these small challenges, you'll generate a sense of accomplishment and a growing belief in your ability to handle discomfort. To illustrate this concept, consider the story of Sophia, a marketing professional who realized that her fear of public speaking was holding her back from career advancement. Instead of remaining paralyzed by this fear, she committed to her own 30-day challenge. For 1 month, Sophia would present her ideas in staff meetings and volunteer to lead discussions. The first few instances were nerve-wracking, yet with each presentation, her confidence grew. By the end of the month, not only had she conquered her fear, but she also received positive feedback from her colleagues and supervisors, opening doors to new opportunities. Engaging with research on the neuroscience of fear can also provide valuable insights. Understanding that fear triggers a physiological response that can be regulated through mindfulness techniques may empower you to face discomfort with greater ease. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, or grounding exercises can help mitigate the impact of fear and allow you to approach challenges with a calmer mindset. By incorporating these techniques into your routine, you develop the mental fortitude needed to embrace the unknown. As we wrap up this lesson, prepare to dive into the next important topic, mastering the art of decision-making. Making choices with confidence is crucial on the journey to stepping outside your comfort zone. Engage deeply with this material and put these exercises into practice, as each step forward strengthens your ability to navigate challenges. Before we move on, remember to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your thoughts below. Your feedback enriches our community and helps others on their journey of self-discovery and growth. Lesson 6. Master the art of decision-making. The ability to make decisions is both a privilege and a profound responsibility. Yet for many, it is fraught with anxiety and second-guessing. Decision-making often feels like navigating a labyrinth, where every choice carries the weight of potential failure or success. At the root of this struggle lies an insidious reliance on seeking validation from others, which can paralyze us in the moments that call for clarity and boldness. Instead of trusting our instincts, we frequently look to those around us for affirmation, fearing that our choices may be judged or ridiculed. This psychological tendency stems from ingrained beliefs that equate self-worth with external approval, creating a cycle of doubt that undermines our confidence in our own judgment. Consider the case of Michael, a talented graphic designer who constantly struggles to finalize his projects. He often finds himself sharing drafts with colleagues for feedback before making any decision, fearing that if he doesn't seek outside validation, his work will be deemed unworthy. This habit leaves him feeling trapped. Instead of honing his unique style and trusting his vision, he allows the opinions of others to dictate his creative process. In turn, Michael's confidence diminishes and the fear of making the wrong decision looms larger. Each time he hesitates to trust himself, he reinforces the belief that his judgment is unreliable, an all-too-common dilemma for many in creative fields and beyond. In everyday scenarios, the reliance on external validation can have significant implications. Take the case of someone facing a career choice. Should they accept a job offer or decline it in favor of a different opportunity? Rather than relying on their values and instincts, they might turn to friends and family, seeking input on which option feels safest or most conventional. Ultimately, this can lead to decision fatigue, where the pressure to please others overrides personal desires or ambitions. By allowing others to shape their choices, individuals risk losing touch with their core values and aspirations, trapping themselves in a life dictated by others instead of by their authentic selves. The emotional consequences of this reliance are staggering. Psychological research indicates that excessive focus on others' opinions during decision-making can lead to heightened anxiety, where individuals second-guess their choices and feel paralyzed by fear of judgment. Over time, this can foster a pervasive sense of helplessness and dissatisfaction, perpetuating a cycle where the quest for validation stifles personal growth. Those who defer decisions to others often find themselves ensnared in a web of doubt, feeling disconnected from their goals and values. The underlying truth that many overlook is that mastering the art of decision-making begins with cultivating trust in oneself. To break free from the validation trap, individuals must recognize that while feedback can be valuable, it should never supersede personal judgment and intuition. Learning to trust one's instincts is not only liberating, but also empowering. It fosters independence and clarity in decision-making. As we progress through this lesson, you will uncover strategies for bolstering your decision-making capabilities, eschewing the need for external validation, and restoring faith in your ability to navigate choices confidently. This journey will not only enhance your capacity for making decisions, but also inspire a deeper connection with your authentic self. Together, we will explore practical techniques that promote decisive action, transforming the way you approach choices in life. To master decision-making, the first step is recognizing when you are overly reliant on validation from others. Start this process by engaging in a practice of self-reflection. Each time you face a decision, take a moment to note how often you seek input from others versus how often you trust your instincts. Keep a decision diary where you document choices, the factors influencing your conclusions, and the role external opinions played in your process. This habit encourages accountability and illuminates your patterns of behavior, providing insight into how frequently you defer to others instead of honoring your judgment. Next, it is essential to shift your mindset from seeking approval to embracing ownership over your choices. Understand that every decision carries some risk, and the path to growth often involves discomfort. Research in psychology suggests that individuals who engage in self-directed decision-making report higher levels of satisfaction and lower levels of anxiety. Viewing decisions as opportunities for learning and growth, rather than as potential failures, creates a more grounded perspective. The simple acknowledgement that it is okay to make mistakes is pivotal. Such mistakes can serve as stepping stones to learning, rather than markers of inadequacy. One effective exercise to practice independence in decision-making is the 3 options method. Whenever you encounter a decision, whether personal or professional, list 3 possible courses of action. This could include a safe path, a moderate risk, and a high-risk choice. This exercise facilitates critical thinking and allows you to weigh the pros and cons of each option without becoming paralyzed by fear of external judgment. As you become more comfortable with this process, aim to make decisions solely based on your values and goals rather than external validation. To illustrate the effectiveness of this strategy, consider the story of Sarah, a recent college graduate facing job offers in different cities. Initially, her inclination was to consult everyone she knew, seeking their opinions on which offer to accept. After recognizing her cycle of dependency on external validation, Sarah implemented the 3 options method. She listed her options, which included accepting a position in a startup, taking a more secure corporate job, or pursuing freelance work. By assessing how each choice aligned with her values and aspirations, rather than seeking consensus, she was able to make a confident decision to join the startup. This choice, rooted in her desires, not only led to an exhilarating career path, but also cultivated a newfound trust in her decision-making capabilities. As you engage with these strategies, cultivate a strong sense of self-awareness surrounding your emotional responses to decision-making. Each time you make a choice, regardless of the outcome, reflect on how it felt to assert your judgment. Consider journaling about your experiences, focusing on moments of empowerment when you chose to trust yourself over seeking external validation. Over time, this practice fosters resilience, reinforcing the principle that your voice matters and your decisions are valid. As we conclude this lesson, focus your attention on the next step in our journey: speaking up with confidence. Understanding how to effectively communicate your decisions and assert your opinions is critical for building robust self-trust and advocating for your desires. Engage actively with the tools and exercises provided, and take note of the progress you've made in amplifying your decision-making prowess. Before we advance, remember to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback can inspire and uplift others who are on similar journeys of self-empowerment and personal growth. Lesson 7. Speak up with confidence. Finding your voice in a world teeming with opinions and judgments can feel like an uphill battle. Many people wrestle with an overwhelming urge to seek validation before expressing their thoughts, believing that their ideas or feelings may not hold value unless others concur. This persistent reliance on external approval can lead to self-censorship, where individuals stifle their opinions for fear of criticism or rejection. Psychologically, this behavior often roots itself in past experiences where one's voice was undermined or belittled, creating a perpetual sense of insecurity that paralyzes self-expression. Emotionally, this manifests as frustration and resentment, as the suppressed voice yearns for validation yet remains stifled in silence. Consider the case of Tom, a competent software developer known for his innovative approaches to problem-solving. Despite his expertise, Tom frequently remains silent during team meetings, convinced that his ideas may not be welcomed. His colleagues frequently seek his input, yet Tom feels a deep sense of self-doubt that holds him back. Each time a project proposal is discussed, he hesitates, allowing others to dominate the conversation. The fear of being judged or misinterpreted looms large, ultimately resulting in missed opportunities for collaboration and recognition. This pattern exemplifies how the fear of seeking validation can inhibit confidence and stifle authenticity. Common scenarios abound where individuals prioritize others' opinions over their own convictions. Imagine a student who has a unique perspective during a classroom discussion, but holds back their thoughts, fearing peer ridicule. This student might observe their classmates eagerly sharing opinions, only to remain passive in the background, perpetuating the cycle of silence and self-doubt. When the instinct to conform outweighs the desire for individuality, one may forfeit opportunities for growth, connection, and self-discovery. The emotional impact of withholding one's voice can be significant. Research underscores that individuals who suppress their opinions report higher levels of anxiety and lower self-esteem. This emotional toll often leads to feelings of isolation, as suppressed thoughts create a barrier to authentic relationships. An ongoing reliance on external validation not only breeds frustration, but can lead to a profound disconnect with oneself, as the individual loses touch with core beliefs and values over time. Start to unravel the cycle of self-doubt by recognizing the patterns that hold you back. To express your ideas and opinions confidently, it is essential to understand that their intrinsic value does not depend on external acceptance. Every voice, including yours, adds unique insight and perspective to the conversation. Embrace the notion that your thoughts are valid simply because they emerge from your experiences and beliefs. As we delve deeper into this lesson, focus on developing practical strategies to articulate your ideas with confidence. By fostering a mindset that prioritizes self-validation, you can begin to dismantle the fear that stifles your voice. Remember, each moment you choose courage and speak your truth elevates your self-worth and enhances your capacity for authentic connection. This journey of self-expression is vital for your personal and professional growth, paving the way for richer interactions and deeper relationships. Prepare to unlock your potential in expressing yourself in more profound and impactful ways. In our next discussion, we will explore the practice of embracing failure as fuel, understanding how failures can serve as stepping stones toward greater achievements. Your voice matters, and your insights are powerful. Engage actively with the exercises provided in this lesson, and start sharing your thoughts without hesitation. Each step you take to speak up holds the potential for transformation, not just for you, but for those who encounter your voice. To cultivate the confidence to speak up, you must first recognize patterns of behavior that lead to self-doubt. Start by engaging in self-reflection whenever you find yourself hesitating to express your opinions. Analyze the situations that make you withdraw, noting your thoughts and emotions in these moments. Keeping a journal dedicated to these instances can provide insight into the triggers that inhibit your voice. For example, when attending a meeting or social gathering, assess how often you refrain from sharing your insights due to fears of negative feedback. This awareness will help you identify the frequency and context of your silence, empowering you to take control of your self-expression. Once you identify these patterns, it's essential to shift your mindset about the act of speaking up. Understand that your voice enhances discussions and contributes to a richer dialogue. Emphasize the idea that constructive feedback is not a reflection of your worth, but rather an opportunity for growth. Research in psychological studies demonstrates that individuals who view challenges, such as expressing themselves, as opportunities for development tend to perform better and experience less anxiety. By reframing the narrative around speaking up, you can reduce the psychological barrier that holds you back. Begin practicing a technique called vocalization exercise. Choose a topic that interests you and take 5 minutes daily to speak about it out loud, as if you were addressing an audience. This exercise will help you familiarize yourself with expressing your thoughts verbally, building confidence over time. Focus on articulation and clarity rather than perfection. By hearing your own voice and articulating your ideas, you reduce the psychological weight of speaking up, reinforcing the notion that your opinions are valuable. Consider the case of Jenna, a project manager who recognized her struggle to speak up during team meetings. Eager to contribute but paralyzed by self-doubt, Jenna decided to implement a few strategies. First, she studied meetings from a perspective of participation rather than performance, framing her contributions as valuable rather than subject to judgment. Second, during preparation for her next meeting, she drafted a list of insights she wanted to share. When the moment came, Jenna felt nervous but empowered by her notes. Facing her lingering fears, she confidently presented her ideas, receiving constructive feedback and praise from her teammates. The experience not only boosted her confidence, but also encouraged her to continue sharing her unique perspective. Mindfulness techniques can further support your journey towards self-expression. Before entering situations where you anticipate needing to speak up, practice deep breathing exercises to calm your nerves. Inhale deeply for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 4 counts. This simple practice helps ground you and diminishes anxiety, allowing you to approach discussions with a clearer mind. As we conclude this lesson, gear yourself for the next one, embracing failure as fuel. You will learn how reframing setbacks can be instrumental in fostering resilience and growth, ensuring that you view challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. Engage deeply with the practices outlined and take note of your progress in reclaiming your voice. Remember, your insights contribute greatly to the conversations around you. Before moving on, subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspectives foster a community of support and inspiration for others striving to find and share their voices unapologetically. Lesson 8. Embrace failure as fuel. Failure has become a stigma in our achievement-oriented culture, often viewed as the ultimate setback that must be avoided at all costs. However, what if we shifted our perspective and recognized failure as a stepping stone toward growth and resilience? By reframing failure as a crucial element of the learning process, we not only liberate ourselves from the burdens of perfectionism, but also allow ourselves to harness its transformative power. The psychological roots of this fear often lie in the deeply ingrained belief that our worth is contingent upon our successes. When we seek validation from external sources, we become trapped in a cycle where any failure threatens our sense of self-worth, leading us to avoid taking risks necessary for growth. Take, for instance, the story of David, a talented entrepreneur with a vision for revolutionizing an industry. After years of preparation, he launched his startup with high hopes, only to encounter insurmountable obstacles that led to its early closure. Instead of viewing this as a devastating failure, David chose to analyze his experience, extracting invaluable lessons that would inform his next venture. He recognized that each setback provided insights into market dynamics and consumer behavior, ultimately enriching his understanding of the business landscape. This shift in perspective allowed David to embrace failure not as a dead end, but as an opportunity for growth, igniting an ongoing journey toward success. Common scenarios reveal this tendency to equate failure with inferiority. Consider an individual who hesitates to pursue a new career path due to fear of not meeting expectations or facing rejection. They may avoid applying for jobs altogether, believing that the prospect of failure would not only reflect poorly on them, but also invite judgment from peers and family. This tendency to shy away from challenges reinforces a damaging mindset where the avoidance of risks supersedes the potential for personal and professional growth. The emotional ramifications of this fear are profound. Research in psychology shows that the anxiety associated with fear of failure can be debilitating, often leading to feelings of shame and inadequacy. When individuals prioritize validation over self-exploration, they stifle their potential, becoming locked in a cycle of self-doubt and missed opportunities. As the fear of failing grows, so does the distance from one's authentic self, leading to frustration and ultimately disillusionment with the very pursuits that once brought joy. The truth is that failure is an inherent aspect of the human experience, a fact that all successful individuals embrace. Rather than shunning failure, it is vital to cultivate a mindset that perceives setbacks as essential to personal evolution. This shift allows you to adopt a growth mindset where challenges are seen as opportunities for learning and self-discovery. Understanding that failure adds depth and richness to our experiences creates a more resilient approach to life. As we navigate this lesson, prepare to explore practical strategies that will empower you to embrace failure as fuel for self-improvement. Reconsider your relationship with failure, recognizing it as an invaluable teacher rather than an adversary. By doing so, you cultivate resilience, adaptability, and an openness to life's uncertainties, qualities that will not only enhance your capacity for growth, but also enrich your journey of self-discovery. Engage wholeheartedly in the exercises ahead and reflect on how embracing failure can propel you toward a more authentic and fulfilling existence. To embrace failure as a catalyst for growth, the first step is recognizing the emotional triggers and thought patterns that generate a fear of failure. Start by practicing self-awareness. Monitor your internal dialogue when faced with challenges. Notice how often you envision potential outcomes and whether these thoughts are predominantly negative or fearful. Keeping a reflective journal can be a powerful tool in this process, as it allows you to articulate your feelings about failure and gain clarity on how these emotions affect your decision-making. Tracking your thoughts regarding setbacks will help illuminate the patterns that perpetuate the fear of failure, enabling you to address them consciously. Once you have identified these patterns, it is crucial to shift your mindset regarding failure. Begin to see it not as an end, but as an integral part of your learning journey. Research in psychology reveals that individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace challenges and persist in the face of setbacks. Viewing failure as a learning opportunity can diminish its stigma and foster resilience. When you experience a setback, instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" consider reframing the question to, "What can I learn from this experience?" This small shift in perspective opens up a world of possibilities and transforms how you approach obstacles. One actionable exercise to help internalize this mindset is journaling about past failures. Take time to reflect on experiences that you once perceived as failures and write down the lessons you learned from each situation. Consider how these lessons contributed to your personal or professional growth. For example, if you applied for a job that you didn't get, think about the skills you gained during the application process or the feedback you received. By actively engaging with your past experiences, you cultivate a sense of empowerment and develop a more nuanced understanding of how failure can lead to growth. To reinforce this practice, consider setting a monthly challenge for yourself, where the goal is to try something you fear doing, with the explicit intention of embracing any potential failures that may arise. Whether it's giving a presentation at work, trying a new sport, or pursuing a creative project, approach the experience with the mindset that any outcome will provide valuable lessons. This proactive engagement with failure helps reshape your relationship with it. The act of participating, regardless of the outcome, fosters confidence and resilience. Real-life examples underscore the power of viewing failure as a launchpad for growth. Consider the story of J.K. Rowling, who faced multiple rejections from publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Rather than allowing these setbacks to deter her, Rowling used the rejections as motivation to refine her writing. Her perseverance reminds us that even celebrated successes are often built on a foundation of failures that were embraced rather than shunned. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to explore the next significant aspect of self-empowerment: breaking free from seeking approval. Learning to trust your instincts and stand firm in your beliefs will be crucial in your journey. Reflect on the insights gained from this lesson and implement the strategies discussed, as they will fortify your resilience and reshape your approach to challenges. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your reflections on embracing failure can inspire others on their own journeys toward growth, fostering a supportive community for everyone striving to unlock their potential. Lesson 9. Break free from seeking approval. In a society saturated with opinions and judgments, the quest for approval can feel all-consuming. Many individuals find themselves trapped in a cycle of seeking validation from others, often sacrificing their own desires and values in the process. This incessant need for approval is rooted in psychological and emotional factors that can undermine self-esteem and independence. It often springs from learned behaviors where early experiences, such as praise for compliance and criticism for dissent, shape the belief that one's worth is contingent on meeting others' expectations. This incessant chase for approval can lead to anxiety and an overwhelming fear of rejection, preventing individuals from tapping into their true potential. Consider the case of Mia, a bright young professional who constantly reshapes her opinions and actions to align with those of her friends and colleagues. On the surface, Mia appears cheerful and agreeable, always seeking to maintain harmony in her relationships. However, beneath this facade lies a profound sense of discontent. In meetings, she hesitates to voice her ideas, convinced that they will not be received as favorably as those of her peers. The repercussions of this approval-seeking behavior are tangible. Mia often leaves discussions feeling unheard and invalidated, longing for the day when she can confidently express herself without the weight of others' judgments suffocating her voice. This cycle exemplifies how relinquishing one's authentic self in pursuit of approval can result in anxiety and hinder personal growth. This situation is not uncommon. Many people instinctively look for validation from friends, family, or authority figures before making decisions. A typical example includes a student who decides not to pursue a unique research project due to fears that their teacher may disapprove. Instead of following their passions, they opt for a more conventional path to appease external expectations. This avoidance reinforces the belief that personal desires must always yield to the judgments of others, ultimately leading to frustration and missed opportunities for self-discovery. Emotionally, the pursuit of approval can sap an individual's energy and undermine their motivation. Research has shown that individuals who base their self-worth on external validation often experience higher levels of stress and lower self-esteem. This reliance on others' opinions creates a precarious equilibrium where self-value is contingent upon the unpredictable reactions of those around them. What happens when approval is withheld? Individuals may spiral into feelings of inadequacy, leading them to further withdraw from authentic self-expression. To break free from this cycle, it is essential to cultivate self-awareness regarding your patterns of seeking approval. Reflect on your interactions and notice the instances where you modify your beliefs or decisions for fear of judgment. Keeping a journal can aid this process, providing a platform to explore thoughts and feelings that arise when you seek validation. Are there specific people or situations that trigger this behavior? Identifying these triggers allows you to confront the underlying fears that sustain your need for approval. Ultimately, learning to prioritize your values and desires over external opinions marks a pivotal step toward reclaiming your identity. Understanding that your worth is innate and does not depend on others' approval is empowering. As we advance through this lesson, you will discover strategies to build this independence, enabling you to express your unique self without fear. This journey will not only enhance your self-confidence, but also enrich both personal and professional relationships. Prepare for the next stage of your evolution, where you will learn to embrace your individuality and cultivate a strong sense of self. Engage wholeheartedly with the content as you embark on this transformative journey. Your experiences and reflections are invaluable. Before we continue, remember to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement can illuminate the path for others striving to break free from the constraints of seeking approval. To effectively break free from the habit of seeking approval, the first strategy is to develop acute self-awareness regarding the triggers and moments that prompt this behavior. Start by observing your own interactions and conversations. After meetings or social gatherings, take a few moments to reflect on how often you deferred your opinions or altered your thoughts to align with others. Keeping a reflective journal can be particularly advantageous. Document situations where you felt the urge to seek validation, detailing the specific thoughts and feelings that arose. This practice will help you identify patterns in your behavior and illuminate the context that foster your need for approval. Once you identify these triggers, it's essential to shift your mindset about approval and self-worth. Understand that your value does not diminish in the absence of external validation. Replace the belief that you must seek others' opinions to feel validated with the conviction that your thoughts and feelings are inherently worthy of respect. Psychological research shows that individuals who cultivate self-acceptance and internal validation tend to experience greater emotional resilience. This shift can be deepened through affirmations. Regularly affirming your strengths and abilities nurtures an inner sense of worth that can help counteract the instinctive need for outside approval. An actionable exercise is to practice assertiveness in low-stakes environments. Start by expressing your opinions on trivial matters with friends or family. Whether it's a movie choice or a restaurant selection, voice your preferences confidently, even if they differ from those of your companions. This practice enables you to experience the act of speaking your mind without the imminent pressure of judgment. Gradually, you can expand this practice into more significant areas, articulating your perspectives in situations where you previously sought approval. The cumulative effect of these small victories will nurture a newfound confidence in your ability to stand by your beliefs. Real-life examples illustrate the power of breaking free from the need for approval. Take Carla, a graphic designer whose creative ideas were often met with skepticism. Initially, she felt compelled to modify her concepts based on client feedback, even when it conflicted with her artistic vision. After recognizing the toll this was taking on her creativity, Carla began to assert her ideas confidently. She implemented regular idea pitches to her clients, encouraging them to explore her unique perspectives while being candid about her vision. This shift not only elevated her confidence, but also attracted clients who appreciated her authenticity, ultimately leading to more fulfilling and successful collaborations. Throughout this journey, it's also imperative to foster a supportive environment. Surround yourself with individuals who respect your opinions and encourage authentic self-expression. Engage with communities, be it professional circles, creative groups, or personal relationships, that value individual perspectives and promote healthy dialogue. Interacting with others who prioritize authenticity will reinforce your ability to express yourself without the need for validation. As we wrap up this lesson, prepare to explore the next empowering concept: owning your strengths and talents. Recognizing and embracing your unique qualities is crucial in solidifying your identity and enhancing your confidence. Engage deeply with the strategies discussed today and remind yourself that you possess an intrinsic worth that is independent of others' perceptions. Before we continue, remember to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement provides valuable insights and strengthens our community as we journey towards self-empowerment together. Lesson 10. Own your strengths and talents. In a world that often emphasizes conformity and external validation, recognizing and owning your unique strengths and talents can be a revolutionary act. Many individuals grapple with the pervasive belief that they must meet societal standards or emulate the success of others to be deemed worthy. This inclination to seek external approval not only detracts from the recognition of one's inherent capabilities but can also lead to a profound sense of dissatisfaction and self-doubt. Psychologically, this behavior is rooted in a fear of inadequacy. Individuals often feel that their authentic selves are insufficient unless bolstered by the validation of others. As a result, many suppress their true talents, conforming to what they believe is expected of them. Consider the story of Alex, an enthusiastic amateur painter who has a unique style. When sharing their artwork, Alex often feels anxious about how others will perceive it, leading to a cycle of self-censorship. Rather than confidently showcasing their creations, they spend excessive time justifying their artistic choices, or even changing their style to fit prevailing trends. This not only stifles Alex's creativity, but also reinforces feelings of inadequacy and frustration. By seeking approval rather than embracing their natural gifts, Alex is caught in a cycle that hinders both personal expression and fulfillment. Common scenarios that illustrate this struggle abound in various aspects of life. For instance, a talented musician may shy away from performing in public, convinced that their skills do not measure up to those of more celebrated artists. Instead of taking the stage to share their passion, they succumb to comparison and let fear dictate their decisions. This not only hinders the musician's growth and enjoyment of their art, but also robs audiences of the opportunity to experience something truly unique. In these instances where individuality is compromised for the sake of approval, the emotional cost can be profound, leading to anxiety and a perpetual sense of unworthiness. Emotionally, the accurate recognition and ownership of one's strengths can be transformative. When individuals finally acknowledge their unique talents, they allow themselves to embrace authenticity, leading to heightened self-esteem and increased satisfaction in various facets of life. Research in psychology indicates that those who possess a strong sense of self-awareness and embrace their strengths report higher levels of happiness and resilience. Acknowledging one's capabilities not only fosters confidence, but also empowers individuals to pursue passions that align with their authentic selves. To combat the tendency to downplay your strengths, it is crucial to actively engage in self-reflection. Start by keeping a personal inventory of your accomplishments, skills, and attributes that you take pride in. Reflect on moments where you felt truly confident and capable. Note the talents that shone through during those experiences. Regularly revisiting this inventory can reinforce your understanding of your own value and help counteract the insidious voice of self-doubt. A practical exercise to further enhance this recognition involves seeking feedback from trusted friends or family members. Encourage them to share qualities they admire in you or specific strengths they've noticed over time. This exercise can provide valuable insights and highlight aspects of yourself that you may have overlooked. Learning to celebrate your strengths is an ongoing journey, and surrounding yourself with supportive individuals can bolster your confidence immensely. As we reach the conclusion of this lesson, prepare to explore the vital concept of taking bold action daily in our next session. This will serve to fortify your understanding of how owning your strengths can translate into confident steps toward your dreams and aspirations. Engage deeply with the strategies and insights presented today, and remember that recognizing your strengths is integral to living authentically. Before we move forward, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this content a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your reflections contribute to a community of growth and empowerment, inspiring others to embrace their own unique talents. To effectively own your strengths and talents, the first step is developing self-awareness that enables you to recognize the patterns of behavior that undermine your confidence. Keep a personal strengths journal where you write down your achievements, positive feedback received, and moments when you felt particularly skilled or competent. This record will serve as a tangible reminder of your capabilities and successes, offering clarity during moments of self-doubt. Engaging with this journal regularly will help solidify your understanding of your strengths and create a deeper sense of ownership over them. Next, it is vital to shift your mindset regarding self-worth and personal value. Rather than defining your success through comparison with others, focus on your unique journey and the attributes that set you apart. Psychology research indicates that individuals who adopt a growth mindset, believing that their skills can be developed with effort and dedication, show greater resilience and a willingness to embrace challenges. Challenge yourself to reframe negative thoughts that arise when you consider expressing your talents. Instead of thinking, "What if I fail?" try, "What can I learn from this experience?" This shift not only promotes a more positive outlook, but fosters an atmosphere where owning your strengths feels more attainable. One effective exercise to reinforce this mindset involves setting specific personal challenges that allow you to showcase your strengths. For example, if you excel in writing, set a goal to submit an article to a local publication or start a blog. If your strength lies in public speaking, seek opportunities to give presentations or speak at community events. The point is to put yourself in situations where you can actively demonstrate your skills and receive affirmation based on your genuine abilities. With each challenge completed, you accumulate evidence that supports your self-worth and reinforces your capacity to embrace your unique strengths. Consider the case of Rita, a talented chef who struggled with self-doubt when it came to sharing her culinary creations. Although praised by friends and family, she hesitated to participate in community cooking classes, fearing that she wouldn't measure up to more experienced chefs. After committing to the exercise of setting specific challenges for herself, Rita enrolled in a local class and began showcasing her recipes on social media. The positive responses from peers provided the external affirmation she needed, while simultaneously boosting her confidence to experiment more with her culinary skills. This experience not only allowed Rita to own her strengths, but also opened up new avenues for creativity and professional opportunities. Research highlights that individuals who actively engage with their strengths and talents experience increased levels of happiness and satisfaction, ultimately leading to greater resilience in facing life's challenges. By stepping outside your comfort zone and becoming deliberate about celebrating your abilities, you will cultivate a profound sense of ownership over who you are and what you bring to the table. As we wrap up this lesson, prepare to explore the next critical topic of taking bold action daily. This upcoming discussion will delve into how embodying your strengths can catalyze decisive movement toward your aspirations, transforming dreams into reality. Engage deeply with the strategies we've discussed, and remember that the journey to owning your strengths is essential for your personal growth and empowerment. Before we move forward, please subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your reflections in the comments. Your engagement is key to fostering a supportive community where individuals are encouraged to embrace their unique talents. Lesson 11. Take bold action daily. The journey toward personal empowerment and fulfillment is often riddled with hesitation and self-doubt, yet every day offers an opportunity for bold action, if only we choose to seize it. For many individuals, the tendency to seek validation can create a paralyzing fear that inhibits the very actions needed to attain their goals. Psychological research shows that the reliance on external approval is rooted in our fundamental desire to belong, an instinct deeply embedded in the human psyche. When people prioritize validation over their aspirations, they may find themselves stuck, allowing fear to dictate their paths rather than taking meaningful strides toward their true objectives. Consider the story of Jake, an aspiring entrepreneur with a groundbreaking business idea. While he possessed the necessary skills and knowledge, he struggled to take the leap to start his venture. Instead of focusing on the potential benefits of pursuing his passion, Jake became preoccupied with how others might react to his failure. He frequently sought reassurance from family and friends, asking them if they thought his idea would succeed. This quest for approval morphed into an endless cycle of doubt, ultimately preventing Jake from taking any action at all. Instead of moving toward his vision, he remained paralyzed by the fear of judgment. Common scenarios like Jake's reveal a troubling trend. When individuals defer action in pursuit of validation, they often surrender their autonomy and hinder their growth. This avoidance can manifest in numerous ways. A talented writer may hesitate to submit their manuscript for publication, while a gifted public speaker may shy away from presenting their ideas at a conference. The underlying fear of rejection becomes so overwhelming that it restricts individuals from tapping into their true potential. This cycle of self-doubt can lead to feelings of frustration, stagnation, and even hopelessness, reinforcing the false belief that personal aspirations are unattainable. The emotional cost of seeking validation through inaction can be profound. When individuals allow external opinions to dictate their actions, they often experience heightened anxiety and diminished self-worth. Research suggests that such patterns can contribute to a decline in mental health, creating a detrimental feedback loop where the fear of action only deepens their reliance on validation. This not only obstructs progress, but can also lead to regret. As individuals reflect on what could have been, had they chosen to act on their passions, instead of suppressing them. To begin breaking free from this cycle of hesitation, it is critical to cultivate a mindset that prioritizes action over expectation. Develop the understanding that taking risks and making mistakes is inherent to the process of growth. Focus on setting small, achievable goals that challenge you to step outside of your comfort zone. For instance, instead of waiting for the perfect moment to pitch an idea or share your work, commit to taking one bold action each day. This could involve reaching out to a mentor for guidance, attending a networking event, or even sharing your project with a trusted peer. Each small step you take reinforces the idea that your voice matters and that your pursuits are valid. Over time, these actions will accumulate, building your confidence and diminishing the grip of fear. By transforming inaction into daily strides toward your goals, you can reclaim your power and reshape your narrative. As we conclude this part of the lesson, get ready to delve into the final component, sustaining confidence for lifelong success. This next session will provide critical insights and strategies for maintaining the momentum you build through action. Engage fully with today's discussion, and remember that each bold action brings you closer to your aspirations. Before progressing, subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your experiences and reflections are invaluable as we cultivate a community committed to taking sustained, bold actions. To take bold action daily, the first strategy involves developing a keen awareness of the behaviors and thought patterns that inhibit you from moving forward. Reflect on moments when you hesitated to act due to fear of judgment or failure. Keeping a personal reflection journal can be invaluable in this process. Record instances when you felt compelled to delay action and analyze the underlying emotions and thoughts fueling that hesitation. By documenting these experiences, you will begin to recognize recurring patterns that signal your need for validation. This self-awareness is essential in dismantling the barriers that hold you back from pursuing your goals. Once you have identified these inhibiting behaviors, it is crucial to shift your mindset toward embracing action as an essential part of growth. Consider the psychological concept of paralysis by analysis, which occurs when individuals become so consumed by overthinking that they fail to act altogether. To counter this tendency, create a mantra that reinforces action over thought. Phrases like progress over perfection or every step counts can serve as reminders that taking imperfect action is preferable to remaining stagnant. Research has consistently shown that individuals who adopt a more action-oriented mindset tend to experience greater satisfaction and success in their endeavors. An actionable exercise to build this momentum is to implement a 30-day bold action challenge. Each day, commit to taking one specific action that aligns with your goals, no matter how small. This could be something as simple as sending a follow-up email, making a phone call to discuss a potential opportunity, or making time to work on a project you've neglected. By establishing this daily routine of action, you create a habit that reinforces your ability to act decisively. Over time, the cumulative effect of these daily actions will strengthen your confidence and minimize the fear that often accompanies bold moves. Consider the inspiring story of Lily, who was initially overwhelmed by the prospect of launching her handmade jewelry business. She often felt paralyzed by the fear of failure and the potential for negative feedback. To combat this, Lily embraced the 30-day bold action challenge. Each day, she set a clear, achievable goal. Researching suppliers one day, creating an online shop the next, and promoting her products on social media afterward. As the days progressed, Lily experienced a profound transformation. Not only did she gain momentum in launching her business, but she also began to shift her focus from seeking validation to taking pride in her unique creations. The experience taught Lily that taking bold action was not only empowering, but also essential for achieving her dreams. Psychological research supports the idea that action fosters a sense of agency, allowing individuals to take control of their destinies. Engaging with challenges and overcoming obstacles can create a positive feedback loop that enhances self-esteem and resilience. When you choose to act, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of handling life's uncertainties, thus diminishing the hold that fear has on you. As we draw this lesson to a close, prepare to explore the final theme: sustaining confidence for lifelong success. This next segment will equip you with tools and strategies to maintain the boldness you cultivate through daily action. Engage wholeheartedly with the principles discussed today, and remember that each action you take fuels your growth and personal evolution. Before we transition, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, give this content a like, and share your insights in the comments. Your contributions foster a vibrant community of individuals committed to taking bold actions and pursuing their aspirations. Lesson 12. Sustain confidence for lifelong success. Confidence is not a finite resource. Rather, it is a dynamic quality that must be cultivated, reinforced, and sustained throughout one's life. Many individuals achieve moments of confidence, yet they often struggle to maintain that feeling over time, allowing self-doubt to creep back in. This cycle of fluctuating confidence can stem from a fundamental reliance on external validation. When individuals seek validation from others to feel worthy, their confidence becomes precarious and circumstantial. The psychological reasons behind this dependence are deeply rooted in fear, specifically the fear of rejection or failure. Consequently, the absence of external praise can lead to a swift decline in self-assurance, hindering both personal and professional growth. Consider the situation of Emma, a successful marketing executive who frequently presents ideas to her team. Initially, she would approach each presentation brimming with enthusiasm and creativity, but she soon became preoccupied with her colleagues' reactions. After receiving critical feedback on a couple of her proposals, Emma found herself second-guessing her abilities. She began to alter her presentations to cater to the perceived expectations of others, inadvertently suppressing her original voice. Despite her achievements, Emma's confidence dwindled as she became increasingly reliant on the approval of her peers. The emotional toll of this validation-seeking behavior manifested itself in anxiety and self-doubt, ultimately hindering her potential to thrive in her role. This cycle of seeking validation reveals how easily confidence can falter when it is contingent upon external factors. In various scenarios, be it in the workplace, personal relationships, or creative pursuits, individuals often find themselves sculpting their thoughts and actions based on anticipated judgments from others, leading to a profound disconnection from their authentic selves. When confidence is tethered to others' opinions, it can create a fragile foundation that collapses at the slightest hint of criticism. The emotional implications of this are significant. When individuals fail to cultivate an internal sense of self-worth, feelings of inadequacy can quickly surface, leading to paralysis in the face of challenges. Research emphasizes that constant reliance on external approval heightens anxiety and decreases overall life satisfaction. This cycle can be challenging to break, especially when individuals become accustomed to gauging their success purely through the lens of how others perceive them. To establish lasting confidence, it is essential to shift the focus from seeking validation to embracing self-acceptance. Understanding that your worth is inherent and not dependent on external factors is a powerful revelation. Begin by engaging in self-reflection to identify your core values and strengths. Regularly affirm your abilities by acknowledging past successes and areas where you have excelled, creating a foundation of self-assurance that does not waver with external feedback. An actionable exercise to reinforce this internal validation involves setting aside time for intentional self-reflection. Create a list of accomplishments or moments where you felt proud of your contributions, regardless of others' opinions. By revisiting this list frequently, you remind yourself of your capabilities and foster a more resilient sense of self-worth. Another valuable approach is to engage in self-affirmation practices where you verbalize or write down your attributes and successes. This reinforces your confidence and helps solidify your identity, making it less susceptible to the whims of external validation. As we conclude this final lesson, prepare to embrace a lifetime of confidence that arises from within. You will not only learn to navigate challenges, but also celebrate your unique journey and the strengths that shape it. Engage actively with the concepts discussed today, as they will ultimately serve as a powerful shield against the doubts that may arise over time. Before we transition to the next chapter of your journey, remember to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters in fostering a community committed to sustaining confidence and personal growth. To sustain confidence for lifelong success, the first strategy is to recognize behaviors that enable self-doubt and reliance on external validation. Begin by monitoring your thoughts and feelings in situations that typically challenge your confidence. Are you frequently second-guessing yourself after receiving feedback or compared to others? Keep a journal dedicated to these instances, detailing the environment, the feedback you react to, and your emotional responses. This practice improves self-awareness and allows you to pinpoint patterns in your behavior that perpetuate insecurity. After identifying these patterns, it's important to shift your mindset from seeking affirmation to fostering self-acceptance. Recognize that confidence is not about being flawless. It is about embracing your imperfections and viewing challenges as growth opportunities. Psychological research supports the idea that individuals who foster self-acceptance not only achieve higher levels of resilience, but also experience greater satisfaction overall. Instead of focusing on how others perceive you, cultivate a true understanding that your worth is inherent and not conditional upon accolades or approval. An actionable exercise to reinforce this new perspective is to create a confidence mantra that you can repeat when self-doubt emerges. The mantra should articulate your strengths and the belief that you are deserving of success. For instance, phrases like "I am capable and enough" or "my unique contributions matter" can serve as powerful reminders of your value. Repeating this mantra daily, especially in moments when you feel insecure, can help shift your internal narrative over time. Consider the example of Marcus, a seasoned sales representative who often doubted his abilities, despite significant achievements. After years of seeking his manager's approval, he realized that his fear of disappointing others held him back. To combat this, Marcus started employing affirmations and made a habit of documenting his sales successes. Each time he closed a deal, he wrote it down and reflected on the value he brought to his clients. Gradually, Marcus shifted his focus from seeking validation to recognizing his accomplishments, ultimately transforming his confidence and bolstering his effectiveness in his role. Ongoing self-assessment is central to maintaining confidence. While you've documented past successes, take time each week or month to reflect on new achievements and experiences. This ongoing practice of acknowledging your growth contributes to a stronger sense of identity that is resilient against moments of doubt. Incorporate this self-reflection into your routine so that during challenging times, you can draw upon this ever-growing reservoir of personal evidence that affirms your capabilities. It's equally important to surround yourself with a supportive network. Cultivate relationships with individuals who encourage and inspire you to embrace your strengths. Engaging with positive and affirming communities, whether in professional settings, hobbyist groups, or through mentorship, reinforces your belief in yourself and offers additional perspectives that can strengthen your resolve against self-doubt. Psychological research emphasizes the role of social support in bolstering self-esteem. Individuals who have a reliable network are more likely to bounce back from setbacks and continue pursuing their goals. By creating an environment that celebrates individuality and fosters open communication, you can enhance both your confidence and your overall sense of community. Reflect on the concepts presented in this lesson and engage with the exercises aimed at fostering confidence. Understanding that self-empowerment is an ongoing journey is crucial. As you continue to practice self-acceptance, self-reflection, and seek supportive relationships, you will reinforce your capacity for lasting confidence. Your journey is not merely about achieving success, it is about constructing a resilient self-image that allows for growth and fulfillment. As we conclude this journey of self-discovery and empowerment, we've explored essential strategies to defeat self-doubt and reclaim control over your life. From silencing the inner critic and mastering decision-making, to embracing failure as a catalyst for growth and recognizing your unique strengths, each lesson has provided practical insights designed to bolster your confidence. We have delved into the significance of taking bold actions daily while learning to sustain this newfound confidence for lifelong success. The path to self-validation lies in trusting yourself, making continuous efforts to nurture your individuality, and fostering supportive relationships that enhance your journey. Thank you for dedicating your time to explore these powerful concepts. Your engagement in this process is vital for personal growth, so please remember to like this video, comment with your thoughts or experiences, and subscribe to our channel for more transformative content. Your feedback not only enriches our community, but also inspires others who are navigating their paths toward empowerment and authenticity. Continue to embrace your journey with courage and conviction. The best is yet to come.